What's up, everybody? My name is Damien. This is Casualty Number 1 Gaming, and today we have some small yet really big news. I want to talk about dynamic weather a little bit, just kind of show it off, see what the frames are looking like. But first, I kind of want to mention you can now grab small vehicles from your freight elevator in the 4.2 PTU. Now, this is just limited to the Atlas series, and hopefully we see that included with other small vehicles or ground vehicles in the future. As long as it is delivered to a hangar, you can now go over to your freight elevator and call it up. Now you'll see in a second, I was able to call mine up. For whatever reason, it was bugging. I didn't have a multi-tool to move it. If I had a multi-tool, I'm pretty sure it would have worked just fine, but I wasn't able to walk it out. I think this is a really cool thing, great quality of life feature or update, whatever you want to call it. But at this moment, all you can do is pull out the Atlas. So huge thing though. I don't think it was big enough to make a full video on it, so I just kind of wanted to throw that in there right here at the beginning, just to kind of show you guys what's up with that. And we'll get into the weather here in just a second. And as you can see right here, I get into the Atlas and I'm trying to move it forward, and for whatever reason it will not move forward. Now, I've seen other people's videos where they kind of go through the ground a little bit, and I'm kind of wondering if that's what was happening to me. And yeah, it was not letting me go anywhere. However, my boosters were working oddly enough so that I know it was on, I know it was functioning, it just wasn't going anywhere. But that's still a really cool thing. Love to see it, and hopefully here soon, once again, we can get more vehicles. All right, now on to the weather. So in this very short recording, I was probably recording about 20 minutes, just overall doing everything, getting out the Atlas, getting around the stations, and flying around looking for the day side of the planet, because I didn't really want to show rain at night. It already makes it kind of dark, you know. So I found a day spot, found a bunch of clouds, kind of flew around a little bit, and I inevitably ended up running into some rain clouds. I just want to tell you guys right now, my frame counter was not working, but I could tell you guys exactly what I was experiencing frame wise while I was playing. I do play on a 9800 X3D CPU. I have an RX 7700 XT GPU and 32 gigs of RAM. So not necessarily the best, not the worst, kind of in the middle, you know. GPU could be better, CPU is about as good as it gets, and it could use a little bit more RAM, but I think 32 is just fine for most case scenarios. I think this is the only game where I could probably benefit from having more than that. Yeah, so everything seemed to run really fine. I do use FrameGen as well through AMD software, which kind of helps, and I'll be showing you guys that here in just a second. The rain, I just wanted to tell you guys my setup real quick so that you know what I'm working with and you can kind of know what to expect for yourself. ArcCorp does take a lot already as it is, so I was honestly kind of surprised with my results. So you can already kind of tell right off the bat that the sky actually, to me anyways, seems like it gets darker. I don't know why I wasn't expecting that, but I do feel like the clouds have never made it that dark before from what I can remember playing the game normally. You could definitely tell where the rain is the closer you get to it, and what's really nice about it is you kind of casually break into it. You can see right here, it's not immediately rain, it kind of slowly comes on, and then there's multiple clouds that have rain as well, which is really cool. It's not just one big cloud. I went through one small rain cloud, and then you could see right here I'm flying into another rain cloud. Throughout this entire thing, my frame stayed about between 60 and 80, which is really surprising. I actually had lower frames coming from atmosphere flying down into atmosphere closer to the clouds than I did under them in the rain, which is super interesting. It looks really nice, it sounds good, it gives the game like a very nice aesthetic, you know. It's very pleasing to see. Huge deal for me. So you can kind of see where I'm flying in and out of the rain right here, just kind of messing around with it, testing it out. I do fly back to the first rain cloud, just kind of wondering if it stays there, and it does. The rain comes back. So yeah, I don't know why I was expecting anything different, to be honest with you. I don't know, maybe I was thinking I could trick it or something, but no, it's actually there. So you do see I almost black out here trying to turn back around super quickly. So but yeah, this is it's really neat seeing this in action finally in the game. You know, I've heard them talk about it for a while now, and it is so cool to finally have it. And like I said, it's such a small thing, but such a huge thing. And performance wise, it's really not that big of a hit from what you can see. Like I said, this is with frame generation, so it's not perfect, you know. I'm not running just straight hardware. I am getting some help from my software. However, with that help from my software, I've had much worse frames in other places. So I was really surprised to see it working how it was. And I mean, yeah, just look at that. I mean, it looks beautiful. The game runs smooth. I am honestly so surprised that it's running as smooth as it is. I was expecting so many more problems with it. I was expecting to draw so much more and need so much more from a computer to be able to actually run smoothly here, but surprisingly, it's running just fine. I mean, I'm flying around in it just fine. Like I said, it looks beautiful. There's really not too much more to say about it. And I kind of stopped right here just to give you guys a little close up. And I mean, just look at that, you know, you can even tell, I believe here in a second, I look down, you can actually see that the ground is wet. Unfortunately in this area, I was just trying to get some footage real quick. I couldn't get too close, but yeah, look, you can actually see that the ground's getting wet. I know your uniforms get wet, your ship gets wet. Everything falls in line with it, you know, it's not just rain and everything's dry in the rain. It's actually really neat. So I just want to say thank you, CIG. This is absolutely awesome. You guys are taking huge steps, and I would honestly argue in the right direction. This is great. As far as optimization goes and worrying about my computer working with it, worked great. Like I said, I used a 9800 X3D, RX 7700, and 32 gigs of RAM, and everything seems to be running perfectly fine. I am extremely happy with it. Tell me down in the comments, guys, am I silly for this? Like, I think this is a huge deal. I feel like it really adds to the immersion, and I think it's a really cool thing to have in the game, finally. And there's so many possibilities with it, you know, it doesn't just have to be rain. So, like I said, this is really cool. Like, comment, subscribe, tell me how you feel down below about it, and hopefully see you guys soon. Later.